Presented on this program do not necessarily coincide with those of our ownership, management, or staff.
Welcome to Tech Talk 2020 with Sanjay Parker. I'm your host, Sanjay Parker, and I'm here with my co-host, Mike Carswell. We talk about all things technology related to your home, life, business, and the future. Today,
Welcome. Oops, sorry. Go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
Today, we have an urgent topic.
Oh, no.
And my sources have told me that this topic will be of no interest at some point in the future. And it's about digital cameras.
Wow. Hey, sorry about the interruption there. This is Mike Carswell here on WINT 1330 AM and 101.5 FM. Welcome to Tech Talk 2020. Our goal over the next 30 minutes is to help you guys get smarter together because, of course, that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to educate Sanjay on the things of life, and he always has some digital stuff to throw at me, and we kind of enjoy this half hour together. So if you want to reach out to us during the show, hit us up on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is Tech Talk 2020 or Facebook, Tech Talk 2020 as well. So let's let it roll here. My friend, how are you today? I'm glad to see you, and I want to talk technology. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's get smarter together.
Here. You know, digital cameras are really important. I'm going to tell you why. Even though everybody's using their phones to take pictures today and share them and be social with them,
Sure.
the purist in me says, boy, the quality that you're getting out of your phone, even if it's 20 megapixels, is garbage.
Okay, let's back it up. You, a purist? Come on, you're Mr. Let's change it now. Let's make it better, faster, stronger, quicker.
Oh, yeah. It'll be better in the future. But today, I think for the next couple of years, you're still going to have the need, if you want high-quality photos, if you want certain things we're going to talk about, like depth of field, and you see these award-winning photos, you just don't see that captured on these little point-and-shoot phones. And we'll talk about all those things. If you're going to get a camera, great time to get it now. Lots of options. And trust me, if you have kids or family or you just love taking photos, there's so much more flexibility and quality that you'll get out of your new dedicated digital camera. You can even connect it to your Facebook feed. You can connect it to, your Flickr feed. You can connect it to the Wi-Fi so that it can post those pictures right away. So it's not going to make a phone call for you, but you do have some cool things. And by the way, we know that since the advent of the smartphone,
Yes.
and the convenience of carrying that camera around and the ability to share and tag and communicate.
Yes.
The digital camera market has declined significantly.
Ooh,
so I'm looking at some numbers here.
All right. Well, hang on with those numbers for just a second. So
Sure.
From a digital camera standpoint, there are people out there that are looking for gifts for Johnny and Jimmy and Kurt and Sam. And digital cameras, where are they at on the list? You got any idea where they are on the list?
Well, my sister-in-law, Maria, actually wants a digital camera. She has a phone, iPhone 6. She also has a little red Nikon Coolpix camera that she takes pictures, hundreds, especially when people aren't looking. She loves just sneaking up on people and taking a picture with that red camera. So I've picked on her for a while because it's probably 6 years old, and I said, really, does that thing still work? Does it still charge? Isn't it on some kind of old power scheme? So we might get her a new camera this year because she loves doing that and printing the photos.
Okay. Somebody must be shopping for cameras. Is that why we're having this talk tonight?
I think so. There's a few people who are. And let me tell you, when I got a nice DSLR camera, which we'll talk about.
I'm familiar with it.
I was pretty happy with it. So here's overall camera industry facts. So amount of total cameras manufactured by year. In the U.S., we've got in 2010...
6 years ago, in your book, that's a long time ago, brother.
Yeah, I mean, some people listening to the show weren't even alive in 2010.
You're right.
Like my daughter, who's 5. And so in 2010, we had 121 million cameras manufactured. That's not phones. That's not integrated into, other things like your skateboard and all that stuff.
Well,
and
the
your
webcams on our PCs,
right.
too.
Nope, just single, standalone cameras. In 2015, just last full year, that went down to 35 million. So almost 25% remaining, 75% drop.
What's a camera manufacturer to do?
Right. So there's lots of options for them to move on. And the magic behind the standard little standalone camera is not the technology, right?
Okay.
The powerful processors and phones are smarter today. in a lot of cases. It's not the little controls because they're horrible compared to a smartphone, right? Can't pinch and zoom and do things. Some of the new digital cameras, you've got the viewfinders that you can use touchscreen and no buttons. The power in those cameras is the lens. Let's talk about the two types of lenses. So
You mean power? Okay, power cameras and lens. Okay.
right, so that's what makes it quality more than a phone, right?
Okay.
So there's two kinds of cameras. There's a point and shoot, which is something you can get for $100. You just grab it, you shoot. It's got a teeny little lens that might pop out or is built in. You don't have to worry about focusing. You don't have to worry about any kind of settings, really. You just point, shoot, you're done. Captures lots of photos.
It's almost like a smart camera.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Right. But in that case, your quality is going to be pretty good, better than, just randomly doing something. It's not going to be as good if you spend a little time or money on a digital single lens reflex camera.
Digital single lens reflex camera. That's a lot of I'm glad you didn't throw an acronym at me.
So that's a DSLR.
Ah, there it is.
So in those cameras, the body is separate from the lens. So you can buy a lens, like a 35 millimeter lens.
Yes.
They're bigger, bulkier. But let me tell you, because of that lens, two things happen.
Okay.
One, your depth of field is much better. You ever see those photos where you see somebody smiling and they're crystal clear, but behind them, it's all blurry? Just like your human eye works, right? We can't focus on every depth of field at the same time in real life.
Right.
If I'm looking at this monitor here, the keyboard behind it looks blurry. The point and shoot cameras, everything comes out crystal clear. It looks like a flat image. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So when you get a digital single lens reflex, you can actually focus on you and everything's blurry. Or if I don't care about Mike today, I'll focus on that chair behind you, which is clear, and Mike will be blurry, depending on what you want to control as your subject.
I have been blurry before, but I never. Go on. You're selling me here, so I'm digging it.
So that's one thing,
Yes,
right?
sir.
The other thing is zoom, right? So you can get a camera, a point and shoot, or your little cell phone that has a 4 times, 5 times, even 100 times zoom.
Yes.
But what that does is something called digital pixel interpolation, which means that it's taking that picture and it's using software to say, when I zoom it in, I'm just going to, fill things in so it looks like I'm zooming in. But the quality is not that good. If you've got an actual lens on your camera that you can actually zoom in and it's an optical zoom,
Sure.
then when you zoom in, it's actual light hitting that lens. It's real. It's crisp. It's not, software interpolated. So when you print something big or if you zoom in really far, if you don't have optical zoom, which comes on these bigger cameras or these, cameras that you can buy, it's not going to be as crisp.
So you're telling me my phone is a liar? It's not really zooming in. I never
right.
knew my phone was a liar. It's a lot of things.
It is.
But now it's a liar.
It's a pretender. And so you can get some great photos. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the times in the past where you didn't have your camera with you and you missed out on all these photos. Everybody has their phone with them. So definitely important. And in fact, Apple released some software in their last update that kind of simulates that depth of field by blurring out things that aren't subjects. So we're getting there. I bet you in a couple of years, the cameras actually on these phones will be really, really, really good.
Okay, Mr. Technology. So
What do you got?
I got the commercial for Hello Moto. And they show. Have you seen the commercial for the phones? It's a Motorola phone, and I'll show it to you. During the
Motorola
break.
still makes phones.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I'll show it to you
Interesting.
during the break. And that phone, what I've seen, has the ability to turn into a big loudspeaker. So you can fill your dance party with the latest electronic music. But then also, it's got an attachment to make your phone. Or adapt your phone to camera abilities. So that phone's not a liar. So I got you there, pal. So we have to look.
Is
at
it a phone or is it a camera?
Both. It's both.
Is it a camera?
It's a camera
cool.
and it's a spamera because it can be a speaker as well. I had a friend that it's he said that years ago to me. I was kind of confused because I said, "Man, my phone is doing this. I do that. I do this. I do that." And so he was a little bit of a visionary, basically saying, "I can't wait till the day when the phones can do just about everything." So I think we're approaching that. So I'm still a phone picture guy because I've taken some great ones with my Android, my Samsung 7. I've taken some great pictures. So we could debate still, but we'll just prepare.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. One, in terms of percentage, how much time do you spend talking on your phone? And you might be anomalous because you like to talk. But how much time do you spend percentage talking versus using other things on your phone that are communications like apps or email or anything else?
Right.
I would 50-50.
I would say probably 35-65, and 35 being the conversation, because today I made something in the neighborhood of 35 phone calls, easy.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I was at least but again, when I'm relaxing or chilling or looking for something else, I'm on the phone looking
You're
at this.
browsing, you're doing apps,
Absolutely.
you're checking out financial things.
Yep.
So it's not really a phone anymore as the primary thing. It's a computer, right? It's a tool. So even when you say, it's my smartphone and my camera, it's really just, it's your computer, right?
Mhm.
That happens
It
to
is.
have this
It's a
capability.
little computer in my hand.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I'll ask you that, and I'll also ask you this, because when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of the features that you get on these cameras. But if you heard about current cameras, how many megapixels are
I don't
used?
recall. I don't recall.
Okay, so anywhere from 12 to 20 megapixels, right? And that's
Yep.
pretty state of the art, even on these high-end cameras, 20 megapixels or so. Do you know how many megapixels the human eye is if it was an actual camera? What it would be?
Let's take a guess. So we got 20 in the phone if it's a maximum. So let's say there's 50 in our eyeballs. Is that a great guess?
And a megapixel is 1,000 pixels, and each pixel is a little dot, and that makes up a piece of that image. So the more dots you have, the more fine-grained and high-resolution the image is, right? So 20 megapixels is significantly better than even 16 megapixels or 12. It's not just a little bit better; it's a lot, because you're squeezing in more dots. So it's almost logarithmic. But the human eye.
A good human eye, because my human eyes used to be better than they are now.
Yes, a natural human eye, 538 megapixels.
Wow.
That's how much we can see.
And that's one eye. Does that combine for like 1,000 and 1,146?
That's the stereoscopic image that your eyes paint on your brain, right? That much detail.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So, to get to the point of the human eye, I got a ways to go, is what you're saying.
Yep. And we're going to come back, and
ways to
we're
go.
going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff about cameras.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys, for tuning into the first part of Tech Talk 2020 this wonderful evening. We will be back right after a little holiday break here. Thanks for joining us here on WINT Integrity Radio.
At the Christmas party hop, mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop.
Pat O'Brien Chevrolet is the only place you need to go if you're thinking about buying a new pickup. We have over 300 new Chevy Silverados to choose from with the biggest rebates and discounts of the year. Save time and money. We got them. Come get them at Pat O'Brien Chevrolet.
This is Ron Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. We are often contacted by people who are shopping for price via phone or online before actually going out to buy. We're happy to give out that information because we can save you hundreds of dollars over the national brands. But price alone means nothing. What are you getting for your money? How good are the quality and support of the mattress? At the Original Mattress Factory, we sell value. What is value? Value is the combination of price and quality. A manufacturer can make and sell a mattress for almost any price. After all, removing components and using cheaper materials does lower the cost, but it also compromises quality. So the price may be low, but the actual value will be even lower. When you shop at our store, we show you the value, the quality that you can see and touch. Buying on price alone is self-defeating. Cheap is cheap. Value is what counts, and our mattresses are the best value. Check them out at an Original mattress store near you and experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original.
Eldorado's Presque Isle Downs and Casino is making a list and checking it twice. This December, Santa's Naughty or Nice giveaway is handing out gifts every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through December 23rd. Pick a gift and find out whether you've been naughty or nice Fridays and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Visit PresqueIsleDowns.com for all the details. Eldorado's Presque Isle Downs and Casino, I-90, exit 27 in Erie, PA. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, it's Steve. Join Al and me at 7 a.m. with Amazon's Angie Newman with a look at how technology is changing the future of shopping. Bob and Laureen Miller from Willoughby Hills VFW Post 4358 preview their Christmas dinner for veterans. Melissa Register from Fifth Third Bank asks, "'Tis the season for taxes?" Plus, the News Herald's Mark Mazzoros on Integrity Radio, WINT.
Welcome back to Tech Talk 2020. This is Sanjay Parker, your host, and I'm here with my co-host Mike Carswell, and we have a little Peanuts interlude. Who doesn't love Peanuts? So thank you for that board up. That was awesome. So we're talking about digital cameras and actual cameras that you can buy that are separate from your phone, which now has evolved into a computer. Mike, you were telling me a little bit about a new type of. It starts off as a phone, but it's got all these features. What are you
it's a
talking about?
Motorola phone, and it's called a Moto, M-O-T-O. And it looks like the features that are there is that you've got three kind of snap-on additions to your phone that will allow it to become a booming speaker, booming out your system. It also gives it the ability to show projected screens. Now, again, we're not talking about a power source here, so I don't know the details on that, but if you're out somewhere and you want to throw up on a screen, that will help definitely with presentations. You and I are familiar with that.
Did you say throw up on a screen?
Yeah, throw up on a screen or flash up. Yeah. So, and then also it has a camera attachment as well to throw on your phone, and it looks like you mentioned the concept of having a lens to get better photos with your phone. Apparently, this provides that option there too. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That whole idea. So the lens on your phone, it's not the software, it's not the phone, it's not the computer within the phone. It's not even the sensor, which is what collects all that image. It's the lens itself. It's hard to get a big lens on a phone, right? Because you lose that compact form factor. So, for example, there's something called the Sony QX series, and for about $150, it's actually a lens. You can get an 18 megapixel lens with true zoom. This little lens has Wi-Fi connectivity to connect to your phone. You snap it onto your phone, and now it uses that lens, and now you're using your phone software. You can get some amazing pictures, true depth of field. You could post that. You can have like the best Facebook and Instagram photos of all your friends. I mean, it could be amazing. Now, of course, by the time you snap on that big lens to your phone, it's so bulky, you probably wonder why you didn't get a regular camera to begin with. But It's pretty cool to be able to do that stuff. So there is a market for camera manufacturers to blur the lines between what they do and what phones do and what phones are. And that modular approach that you just talked about with the Moto Z, that's pretty amazing because that is really where it's going to be at. It's about customizing and personalizing your experience and what you need. And now the phone body, the basic phone, everybody's got great, Android software or iOS software. They've got cool, slim functionality. What's the extensibility of that phone, right? If I want to get new features, do I have to throw away my phone and upgrade? Or can I snap something on? I think that's pretty cool. Google pioneered that a few years ago with a prototype.
Right. We actually talked about the fact that we did an iPhone show that 65% of American adults, now I'm not sure where adult begins, maybe 16. In my house, it's 18, brother. But it depends on what house you're in.
My house is 35.
Okay. But that's the percentage of the American public that has a smartphone. So we're talking significant numbers. And I will say this in defense of phone photographs is that I've taken some great ones, some that are not so great, but I'm thinking sometimes that the quality that you're seeking, look, I'm not a professional photographer, neither do I plan to be one. It's pretty interesting for me when I shoot a photo and I put it on Instagram. My daughter has the ability to take it and critique it and say, no, you should have done this.
Yeah.
Oh, the light's wrong. So I think for Joe Guy, who's just, utilizing his smartphone, or Joe Guy that goes out and purchases a digital camera, the expectation level of the picture is probably what's more important, at least in my case.
See, I think we're reversing roles on this show. This is quite neat because I'm going to say that here's a stat that comes into my mind. In the past, 12 months, we have created more content than we had in the history of mankind up until that point, right? So we've taken more pictures, we've created more Facebook posts, we've sent more cat videos, we've liked more things, we've shared more things, we've posted garbage on video. It's garbage content in a lot of ways. And, that has helped us because content is king. So, for example, 10 years ago, if you watched a video and the audio wasn't that good, and then you've got crumpled clothes in the background, you would think, what kind of hack is this? Why didn't they go to a studio? The lighting is off. The sound is bad. Why didn't they rehearse their storyboard? They're stuttering. Today, with the YouTube generation and live video feeds, it doesn't matter. I want to hear the message. I want to hear that person. I don't care about the distractions. I'm not expecting super high quality production, right?
Yep.
So
Okay.
you can recognize it, and your child is better at it.
Yeah, sure.
And some will get better, but in general, people can't tell the difference. So they're taking that content, they're putting it out. They can't tell the difference between that horribly cropped, badly lit little photo they put on Instagram versus somebody who would look at that and, stage it with angles and light and depth and then do it. They might be able to tell a little bit, but they're not going to appreciate it. So we're putting a lot of stuff out there because now the tools are in our hands, right? Everybody's got a camera. Everybody, almost everybody has internet access. They have a smartphone. They'll get it out there as the lowest common denominator. But part of me says,
yes, sir.
Boy, we are diluting the quality pool by putting garbage out there
Listen
all
to
the
the
time.
purist here.
Right, I'm gonna rail. I'm gonna rail against accessibility. That's the only time you'll ever hear me do it.
That's interesting. I remember when Sports Illustrated announced that they were going to go digital. And by the way, Sports Illustrated, who reads that anymore? No offense, but I'm sure they're
LeBron James, Sportsman of the Year. There's a
I'm
lot of
feeling you.
people. Well,
I'm telling you, but I remember a day in my life when I would get that Act magazine at home and read it cover to cover. The swimsuit issue, though, would never go to my house. Thank you, Mom. She saved us from that noise.
would it not go to your house, or would it get there and get shipped back?
I don't know where it would go. All you guys out there can fight it and share your own stories about the swimsuit issue. But that was a preventer in my house from 7 Sports Illustrated come. Anyway, but the remainder of the year, of course, I wrestled and worked to get to that issue. I'd read it cover to cover, hear about kids in Wyoming, learn about tennis and everything else. So again, we've changed as a society. We want what we want, and we want it now, and we want it specifically catered to us. So that ties into all kinds of media. We could go on for hours about it. But I will make this point. I think that you're hitting on a point that it's beautiful about a camera, that if you want the purest, the best photography, and you want to be proud of your pictures, then knock yourself out and get yourself a good digital camera, which is going to run you between $500 and $700 or something like that. But again, I think the masses, Sanjay, are really happy. If I show you some of the pictures on my phone, it will blow you away.
The masses were happy getting a faster horse back at the turn of the century before they knew something called the automobile was invented.
right.
So let's not count on the masses being happy as the barometer of success. Now, I will say that
It sounds like we have reverse roles here, boy. Woo.
woo, wow, this is a seismic shift. But here,
Yeah.
so you want to get great smartphone photos. You want to get better. Think about getting a clip-on lens, like a Sony QX. $150. You really will take your photography to another level. You want to get a point-and-shoot camera from 12 to 20 megapixels. One of the most popular is a Nikon Coolpix.
Okay.
Roughly $110. You'll get some amazing photos. You'll be able to upload that through Wi-Fi to put it to your PC or get to it from your phone so you can put it on your social sites. If you want to go even better and you want to get some really good quality photos, and I've dabbled with a pretty good camera over the years, and I was able to get some iconic photos of my children that that scene wouldn't be the same. Like I had my kids opening up I think it came with a Omaha steak company. They had the dry ice and everything,
Sure.
and we poured water in it and started smoking, and I captured the smoke and my children and just the smiles, and that moment was perfect. That was totally worth the camera. So you can get a Nikon D3300 for about $450. Canon EOS, those are pretty popular. Canon Rebels, Panasonic GH3. These things will sell you. You'll get the camera body for about $200 to $500. When you buy a lens from $150 to whatever, you can go up to thousands for a lens. But you get those two, and really, these are things that you don't throw away every few years. I mean, that technology will last
You know exactly where I was
for
at.
3 to 5 years.
Well, my wife taught photography class years ago, and she's a very good photographer. And she's kind of abandoned her camera for her phone, which is fine. I'm not saying she's totally joined the digital world, but her camera was I believe a Canon or a Nikon that she used when she was much younger and used it for years and would swear by it. But then again, I think she's kind of a convert now. We're not doing anybody else's graduation photos. All the kids are done with those, and so when we did do those, she did shoot them with her camera. So I'm with you that digital's cameras of today are phenomenal. They're better than ever. But for Joe Guy, and I'm sure if you're Joe or Jane out there and you just want to take pictures of the grandkids, on Halloween, or take a picture like I did today of my dog. Actually, that's an old picture of my dog running in the snow.
And a snow track. Wow, I should put that on the Facebook site.
She's little.
That could be an award-winning photo because I love the juxtaposition of the snow and the dog's mouth open with the little shadow. Looks like a little puppy below him.
She's
So
awesome. She's awesome.
check this out. One more thing.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about photos, and photos are great, but they're not as exciting as video today. And we know we take a lot of video on our phones. But when you look at these digital SLR cameras and you look at the quality of video you can take, go ahead and Google DSLR films or 35 millimeter films. Commercials and full movies are being recorded using these cameras that are about $1,200 with the lens, and it's amazing the quality you can get. Actually, there's 4K cameras today. They're doing 4K commercials on these things for less than $2,000. It's not the size of the old camera. We're looking at things that are maybe like, with the lens, 10 inches long and weighs about 4 or 5 pounds. The quality you're going to get from these cameras, I mean, the innovation in those single body cameras has been quite significant. So instead of that big crew with that big camera on a tripod and a roller contraption, and people are doing this in a handheld tripod mount, and taking some amazing videos. So if you're into videos as well, make sure you check out these standalone cameras.
All right. Well, I will not be buying a camera this year. Actually, I bought a person in our family that wanted a camera. I bought them a camera last summer, and they didn't like it, so we took it back. So this year, for Christmas, I'm going to award them with a wonderful gift certificate and pay for the portion of the camera that they want to select themselves. Gift cards are huge, man.
I know.
They're awesome.
It used to be like a laziness,
Yeah.
but now just get them an Amazon gift card or something like that. And you're
well,
set.
again, we're back to what people really want. So let's go and throw that into today's discussion about digital cameras. If you really want high-end photographs, if you really want to make those memories that'll last, for at least 2 years, you said?
If you want to take your memories up another notch, go ahead and try something that's focused on the task. Smartphones are pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Really good, in fact, and really convenient and getting better all the time. If you want to take that next jump, you want to get ahead of the pack, go ahead and look at these digital SLR cameras or even these point and shoots that have high megapixels. You won't be sorry that you did.
Are you calling me a slacker?
Never.
Because I don't want to run with the pack? I'm my own dog, man. I always have been.
Mike's going to get into his self-driving vehicle at the end of the show, and it's going to take him home while he relaxes to some Led Zeppelin.
I wish I could do that. Actually, Led Zeppelin, no. Today I was kind of listening a little bit to just some 90s rap, baby. I was jamming on some 90s rap. So.
Really? That's
oh yeah,
cool.
yeah. A group called SFC. So anyway, again, we're excited about learning about technology. I hope you guys have grabbed something about digital cameras that you can utilize as you purchase gifts or as you look to add one to your own library. So we're going to roll out the door here on Tech Talk 2020 with a little festivity in the background. I love Burl Ives. He's my guy. We're glad that you guys are here with us. Sanjay Parker, Mike Carswell. Check it out here on WINT Integrity Radio, 1330 AM and 101.5 FM. Thank you, guys.
Don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down